Hello, my dear. How are you today? What do you feel now? Confused? I don't know translation of this word. Confusing, aggressive, and I'm mad about one person. Today I will do something not so good for this person because it's not good to do bad for me. I feel this now. What do you feel now? So the second book, Kurt Vonnegut, The Sirens of Titan. Introduction. I have been sore-headed occupant of a file drawer labeled science fiction, and I will dig out particularly since so many serious critics mistake the drawer for a urinal. Kurt Vonnegut. My favorite section in any libraries is oversized book. I love the reluctant grabbing way it exists at all. A blasphemy to the gods of order and category. It is only here that you will find the book of Kells gloriously sandwiched between aardvark taxidermy and Clarice Cliff theropods. It is an area that transcends genre, and for writers who have made it their goal to try and subvert and confound those same arbitrary rules of categorization, oversized books is a very cozy place indeed. The concept of genre is a peeving notion to all writers, but hardly a surprising one. In a creature that comprehends the world about it through comparison of past experience, genre is quintessentially human. We write without genre in mind. It is something distorted with you own a book post creation. It is important for marketing, useful for the reading, and essential for critics who can tell us more easily who we are similar to that who we are not. You know, your work has entered the hallowed halls of the zeitgeist when your surname becomes lazy critic shorthand for someone else's book. It seems that Mr. Vonnegut has had an uneasy relationship with the SF genre, which is to his credit a writer who is truly library of genre puzzles. The reviewers and the labeled shelves in the bookshop and libraries, and even when his books are forcibly squashed into the science fiction drawer, it is usually for the purpose of critical expediency, as useful as a composition, a review that shuns in an issue of Catword. And yet, although the science of Titan is brimming with the raw ingredients of science fiction, the cake, when baked, rises of something other. Indeed, Vonnegut is guilty of having fun with the very flower of eggs of the science fiction baking formula. He stretches concepts such as time travel to their very limits with his chronosynclastic infundibulum and paradises, Martian invasions, and robots with his radio-controlled soldiers, Jung and Bose. He sends characters out to live for years on Mercury and only to be stuck with the one-track minds of the harmonious and his Martian invaders fall flat on their face owing to technical oversight. It could be said that Science of Titan is more like the adventures of Alice in Wonderland, playing extreme games with the usual rules of fiction, taking the reader beneath the surface of normality to view our lives through the lens of the abnormal and strange. The very the very name of the tiny doors that leads inside Ramfurt's house. The Alice door in self-paced recognition to Lewis Carroll and Lewis Carroll, and not in the direction of satire and the headstrong refusal to occupy the labeled drawers that mankind is so keen on maintaining. Like Carol's allies and shifts Gulliver, shifts, shifts Gulliver, the protagonists have to be removed from their everyday existence in order to make the journey of discovery. Alice falls down the rabbit hole. Gulliver travels to Lilliput and Malachi. Constant crosses the known universe. Whilst on this important journey, satire is allowed full reign. The both make Ramfurt's words seem recognizable and believable, and to focus on those aspects of our life that seems bizarre or question, questionable yet are obviated from our side by their very accepted normality. What Vonnegut does maintain is that science and technology are important parts of any novel as they are important aspects of our everyday lives. Why should they not appear quite naturally within our mainstream fiction? Yeah, champions. We finished with this book too. The third book is Irving Wells Transporting, about Bunsen, about some shitty things, but interesting. Page number 30, I remember that we read. Page number 31, I think we read too. Page number 32 and 33. Now a problem. Borrow via the H which has thick surplus and complete the S. Exit as far back as can we without sliding entire the sheet pit below ice and admire my handwork, the vile blue bottle which caused me a great deal of distress has been transformed into a work of art which gives me much pleasure to look at. I am speculatively thinking about this as a positive metaphor for other things in my life when the relation I would have done sends a paralyzing jolt. I roll fear through my body. I sit frozen for a moment, but only moment. I fall off the pen, money splashing on tire the pishy flare. My jeans crumply tire the deck and greedily absorb the urine, but I hardly notice and roll up my shirt sleeve and hesitate only briefly, glancing at my scabby and occasionally weeping track marks before plunging my hands and for worms and worms entire the brown water. Ach, Ramage fastidiously and get one eye ma bombs back straight away. Ach, rub of some shite that's attached to it. A wee bit melted but still largely intact. Ach, stick it on top of the cistern. Locating the other takes several long digs through the mess and the handling of the shite. I many good Mayhews and Pilton Panthers. I'll get once, but get my white nugget I gold. Uh, Surprisingly, even better preserved than the first. Uh, the feel I water disgust us even more than the shite ma brown stained air reminds us I the classic t-shirt. Then the line goes right up past my elbow as I had tire go right around the bend. Despite my discomfort at feel I water on my skin, it seems appropriate tire on my arm under the cow tap at the sink. It's hardly the most ex- extensive or fruit wash I have had, but it is all I can stand. Then wipe my arse with the clean part I my pants and chuck the shite saturated cakes into the bowl beside the rest I the waste. I hear knocking at the door and I pull on my stocking Lewis. It's the sense I wetness on my legs again rather than the stench which makes us feel a bit giddy. The knocking becomes a loud bang. Esmon, you can't wear a word bursting out here. How dear a word bursts. Ach, we tempted Thais lay the suppositories, but I rejected this notion almost as soon as it crossed my mind. They were designed for anal intake, and there was still enough added waxy stuff on them. I suggest that I had no doubt have a hard time nicking them down, as I had shot everything out I my bowels. My boys were probably safer back there. Home they went. I've got some funny looks as I've left the bookies. No say much fire. The fish gang why ye peeled past us we a few derisory about a wartime in offs, but fire one or two panthers were cloaked my wasted appearance. One wretch even made some vaguely threatening remarks, but mine were too engrossed in the form cares of the racing on the screen. Not Elvis Bronson was gesticulation wieldy at the telly as Ach left. At the bus stop, Ach realized what a sweltering hot day it had become. remember it. Somebody says that with the first day at the festival, well, they certainly got the weather. Fear it, Ach sat on the wall by the bus stop, letting the sun soak entire my wet jeans. Ach saw a 32 coming, wow. But didn't I move Elfrod apart? Yeah, white champions will finish. Well, not with last book. Last book will be this. So let's check what's up and second and last book, and that's all.